describing and what occurred, there's no happenstance in them. There's no coincidence in them. They're meant to be. It doesn't make me anything different than what I was. It only assists me to understand at a deeper level. It's almost as if you're sent something to confirm that what you're doing and what you're thinking and what you're attempting to bring about is on the right path.
What does that mean for you today in what we are experiencing? There's a lot I think in some respect, we all reflect back to our lives in moments like these, and we're looking at so many things that, I've either been told or, like you say, it's not happenstance, like there's a reason for a lot of the things that I've seen in my life, and what I'm able to now take from that and see looking forward. So for you, what does that mean?
Well, if you're referring to what's happening right now.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so if you're referring to what's happening right now, my first comment is that, number one, we're cosmic beings. We consider ourselves to be like human beings, but in essence, we're cosmic beings. And we live in a cosmos. And the cosmos that we live in has a vibration presently of change. We're leaving the Iron Age and we're going to the Golden Age. This is cosmic cycle. It's happened in Lemuria, which was the third solar race. It happened in Atlantis, which is the fourth solar race. And it's happening here, which is the fifth solar race. We live in a Mahavantara, which is 3.4 billion years. And infinity is behind that. So that's first template I'd like to lay down as being foundational. It's important that we think of the cosmos. And when we do think of the cosmos, then the next thing we should think of is that what this is humanity's karma. Humanity has created this. Humanity has brought this on themselves. Because what we did is we took spirit out of the equation. And we replaced it with in God we trust on the back of money. And on the back of money, we really mean in money we trust.
Right.
So the focus for humanity has been materialism. And this has been the death knell for the Lemurian civilization in the third solar race. And the death knell for the Atlantean civilization in the fourth solar race. And here in the fifth, we've expressed all the errors. And it's karmic. And rather than bring our focus into our relationship to spirit and what that means to our existence on the Mother Earth, then the very first thing we have to examine is our relationship to the inner soul that exists in everyone and how that connects to the divine. And then our relationship to the Mother Earth and how we treat the Mother Earth. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that on this pause that has been imposed on humanity, that humanity's been asked to reflect on what this is and what this is about. The Hindu religion and holy books stand for the proposition of an acceptance of return. There's an acceptance that you have previous lives, that you have a present life, and that you will have future lives. So this concept of death that we're looking at right now, that everywhere is being put on the bulletin board of everyone's mind, is that in contemplating it, we may come to understand that there's no such thing as death, that there's only transition into another dimension. And that we've done this, probably one of the most practiced things human beings do is die and get rebirthed. So within the framework of that kind of understanding, within the framework of that template, then what we are in right now is huge transition. So if I'm looking at a pendulum, and the pendulum is solidly over in the materialistic world, and the pendulum, through its own force, through its own weight, can no longer stay there, that it has to transition into what's happening in terms of what the white buffalo calf prophecy is speaking about. which is the time of change. Now, what we're going through is this transitory change, wherein things need to break down. You can't have rebirth without it breaking down.
Mm-hmm.
We're headed towards a golden age. I think the Bhagavad Gita, if I'm not mistaken, this is what the Bhagavad Gita has to say. The Lord declares, whenever true religion declines and irreligion prevails, I manifest myself, and in every age I incarnate to establish spiritual law and to destroy evil. Mm. So the Bhagavad Gita is speaking to this time. Behind me, in the portrait of the Kogi, which is on this shoulder, this shoulder, it's reversed. The Kogi. Not many people on the Mother Earth know about the Kogi, but the Kogi reside in the Andes Mountains in the Santa Marta region of Colombia. The Kogis refer to themselves as the elder brothers, and they refer to us as the younger brothers. There's a film done by the BBC by a man named Alan Herrera. Alan Herrera was told by the BBC, we want you to go to South America, we want you to pick a country, and we want you to see if you can find any remnant of tribes who still express a spiritual connection. And so, with little research, he just jumped on a plane and he ended up in Colombia. And the first night he was at the hotel, came a knock on the door. And he opened the door, and there was a Kogi. And he said, you're here to see us. And he didn't even know about them. So he went, and the film called The Kogi by the BBC, anyone can access it, is about his encounter with the elders who are called mamas. Mamas, notice that. The elders are called mamas. Now they reside at 15,000, 16,000 feet. You or I would not be able to be in their presence. Their energy and their vibration is too high. Mm-hmm. And it would be harmful to us, and we'd be harmful to them. Mm-hmm. They have 3 tribes below them who are their caretakers, who are their messengers, who are the ones who, in essence, transmit the messages that come from the elders. And in the film, they basically say, the elders, the mamas, are saying to you, you're destroying everything. You're ruining the Mother Earth. You're not respecting her. And in doing so, you're killing all of us. So, the Kogis, that film was done in the 90s. That was their message. It's 2020. It's 2020.
Yeah.
And it's not reverberating to people. They're not hearing it. Mm-hmm. So,
why is that? Why do you think? There's a lot of that I hear and see.
Well, it's consciousness. Mm-hmm. It's pure and simple consciousness. So we've dumbed down the consciousness in the material world. And in dumbing down the consciousness in the material world, we're not a bunch of seekers. You know, the education that people have that they think is of high nature is about getting a job, make some money, and be happy. But it's not about finding your soul, making a connection to spirit, and becoming what it is that you truly are. Mm-hmm. We're human doings, not human beings.
Correct, yeah.
So within the framework of the concept of what it is that we need to do, the only way we're going to change the world is to change ourselves. When you change yourself, you begin to contribute to the change of the world. Mm-hmm. But if you think that you're going to get out ahead and get a bunch of people and pull them together and say, look, this is what we need to do. Okay, all right. But what have you done to yourself and with yourself in relation to your connection to spirit? I've been